my niece, so my sister's in town from Los Angeles. Los Angeles is on lockdown. My sister came here with her family for Thanksgiving. Small. There's only 9 of us together, so that's safe. That's still under the rules. And then L.A., where she lives, lockdown. And my niece, Elle is her name. She's 13. She plays the viola, right? Like looks like a fiddle, looks like a violin.
Viola?
Yeah.
That thing.
I don't know the difference. It looks exactly the same. And I told my sister I could just stay here, do your online school from here. Well, it turns out she didn't bring her Viola, with her. And they're doing their online school from my house, and she needs it. So I was like, let me go rent one. And Rich's daughter I know plays the cello. So I asked Rich, I go, hey, I need to rent one of those. And he says, oh, call Andrew's Violins.
Andrew's Fine Violins.
So I Google them. After the show's over, I call over there, and I get a hold of a guy. And I'm like, hey, I need to rent a viola. And he's like, okay, well, go to our website and make an appointment. And I'm like, really? I go, I could be there in half an hour. I go, do you have any? And he goes, I think we do. And he, go to our website and make an appointment. I'm like, okay. I go, if I make an appointment, I go, is there a chance that there's an appointment open in the next half hour? And he goes, you need to go to our website. So I hang up. I'm like irritated by the guy, right? I can't imagine there's like Xbox lines of people for the viola, right? So I go to the website, and the next available appointment is on a Friday. I'm like, wow, that's absurd. I had no idea. You don't see that in the news.
Apparently, there are people waiting.
Apparently, I feel like this is just like the election. They're keeping this story quiet. So I'm like, this is crazy. I tell Rich, I go, dude, this is absurd. So he calls his daughter Audrey, and Audrey says, I didn't get it at Andy's Violins. I got it at Brindley's. So I call information Brindley's. I go to Google, go to Brindley's. I call over there. I go, hey, man, I need to rent a viola. The guy goes, what size? I said, I have no idea. So I call my sister. My sister said 13 or 14. So I go back. I call back. I go, hey, it's a 13 or 14. And the guy goes, okay, we have those. And I said, do I need to make an appointment? And he goes, no, you can come in. I go, I could be there in half an hour. Can you get it ready for me? He goes, sure. You can? Right? He goes, yeah. So I plug in the address and I haul ass there. And as I'm putting it in, I don't even pay attention to where it is, right? I just get in the car and I go, and I'm on the freeway and I look and it's like 25 minutes away. And I didn't even realize that until I was already on the freeway. I'm like, damn, right? So as I'm driving towards the location, all of a sudden I pass by my house that I grew up. And I'm like, wow, I'm in my neighborhood that I grew up as a kid, where I went to elementary school, where I went to junior high, which, by the way, if I would have known it was there, I would have never gone there in the first place because it's so far away.
Right.
And then I passed the Burger King my mom used to work at when I was in 8th grade. And I was like, wow, I'm at the Burger King. And then I passed the pet store. And when I was 12, I went to the pet store. I rode my bike there and I asked them, can I get a job here? Because I didn't have any money. And I said, I'd love it. I'll clean up your pet cages. I'll clean up the dog poop. I'll clean up whatever. And they said, sorry, you're too young. We can't hire you. And I was like, man, that's when I ended up getting a paper route. So there was this store that said Brindley's. And I was like, wow, it's right next to the pet store that I want to work. So I walk in and I just had this moment. I just freak out. Like I said, how long have you guys been here? The guy goes, 43 years. I'm like, holy crap.
Wow.
My mom took me there and I rented a trumpet from there and I rented a guitar from there when I was a kid. And I just had this like total moment. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. By the way, the place was empty. I said, man, this is so crazy. And they go, are you here for the viola? And I said, yes. There was no line. No line at all. In fact, the parking lot was empty.
And did he say Viola is an Emmy Award-winning actor? We have violas here?
Yeah, something like that. I got it wrong. I take it wrong. My sister corrected me a million times. But anyway, so shout out to Brindley's. So go get you. They have drums. They have guitars. They have violas, violins. They have all that stuff.
Didn't you almost kind of feel like you were like getting the in since the first place made the viola seem so exclusive?
Yeah, shame on the first place.
Get?
I just thought, well, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, shove me off to a website. You can't give me a...
Every
To be
company's
fair,
different.
they don't say they're Andrew's Fine Violas. They say they're Andrew's Fine Violins. They might not venture off too far into the other one.
Or maybe they just had like a staff meeting where they're like, we did the appointment thing on the website. Let's use the appointment thing on the website.
You only have one
guess
person
you're
there.
Okay, like maybe they just had the meeting, and the guy on the phone was like, "Man, I really want to help this guy, but I just got reamed in the meeting for not using the thing on the website. I don't know. I got to tell him to use the website."
I feel like they're like,
can get in
all right, it's 10. Let's open those doors. Let's go. Let's go. And they open the doors, like ready for the rush. There's nobody there. Like, this is big, like Xbox stuff. Let's go. Everybody put out the press release on Viola's. We got them. Let's go. The little bell on the door opens. Let's go, everybody. No? Anyway, so also I got to tell you, I keep getting these messages from iHeart Corporate about taking these tests, these quizzes or whatever, right? Have you guys taken them already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So apparently I was supposed to do it like in October or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
We've
I
had quite a few.
Huh?
Quite a few have come through.
I know. I feel like
Right.
it's been once every other week-ish.
Yes.
And
So
they seem like the same one to me. I know they're not, but they feel like the same one.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the point where I get a text where I'm almost threatened that the CEO is going to get very upset. And if we don't have it done by Friday, it's really bad. And right, I mean, literally bad. So I'm like, all right. So I can't do it on my phone. It's late. And long story short, I end up going, my son Dutch, who's 14, helps me log on. And he gets so involved in taking this test that he does it for me. He does the whole thing. And I pass. Right? And he learned so much about phishing scandals. So I have to take another one today. And I'm hoping he can take that one.
You really want to say this on the radio?
Well, I have to tell you something else happened. So, little side note too. So I came upon a letter for Christmas Wish. And it's like a letter, not like an email. Someone sent a letter, right? Old school. So what is this? You know, it's like some type of person that wrote this probably has a Viola.
Viola.
Oh my
And I read it, and it's an amazing letter. So I read it. I brought it to dinner last night, and my sister read it at the dinner table, and she was like blown away. And I was like, this could be a very powerful. This could be like our last Christmas wish of the season, you know. Where and so my sister's like, you know, you should try to do this. I'm like, yeah, but it's more than just. It's more than money. It's a lot of stuff to get involved. So I had to make like personal phone calls to friends, and I did all that and got approval and a lot of things to do. So, but I had to get information. And so we had to call this person. And my sister goes, you know, she's in TV. So she's like, let's call this woman to get information, and I'll record you. I'm like, I don't want you to record me. She's like, no, I'll record you. Just go do it just to get information. So we go into her dining room, and she's like, I'm not here. I'm just going to record you. So we get in the dining room, and on speakerphone, I call this woman. And first of all, she doesn't pick up because I blocked the number, and my sister's yelling at me for blocking the number, and it's like the whole thing. Don't block it. Just call from my number. I don't care if she has my number. I go, I don't want her to have my number. So then I call this woman from my sister's phone on speakerphone, and the woman is very pleasant. And she's like, hey, she goes, I can't believe you're calling me. She's like, many years ago, I gave you information on your mother because my mother had a brain tumor. She was like, my mother had a brain tumor too. And she goes, and I was giving you information on your mother because it helped my mother. And then my sister, who's filming, goes, oh. Okay, now it was just her and me, and I'm like, and the woman's like, what? Like all of a sudden, this woman hears this other person. They're like, oh, hey, and my sister's like, you're like a professional, like in TV, like you've done these kind of stories your entire career.
You're the one that told me you weren't
Yeah,
here.
and I'm like, and I got it on video too. I got the whole thing on video. I'm like, I'm so sorry. By the way, my sister's here. She's a little different. So stupid. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the TV you do. You know, like move the van. You know, one of those big reveals. And her first thing is,
Oh, it touched her heart.
yeah, I know it did. It was a beautiful phone call, but